Hey guys, we're welcome back to Lethal Weapon. We had a break, but we are not breaking on this episode because it was so dang good. Stay tuned after the opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome back, everybody, all AfterBuzzers and all men, women, and children alike. If you love this show, this is the Lethal Weapon After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. Hey guys, I picked this song mostly because it was called Fashion Police, and I don't know, I just thought this was a good one to just kind of dance to, and also because he got us close for cheap, because you know, thrift shop. But anyway, I'm your host, Alexis Torres. You can find me all over social media as Torres890, and guys, as a Lethal Weapon After Show, you can't do this show alone. I have the very talented, handsome, fantastic, just brown sugar all over the place, Chaos.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Chaos J, KAAOSJ, T&K, Tango and Cash, Lethal Weapon Wednesdays. Welcome.
Be back. Oh, so good to be back. I missed this because we were off like a couple weeks ago, but like
serious.
But yes, so don't forget, guys, we are on the YouTubes. I'm looking at the chat as we speak. Don't forget to hit up iTunes, because remember, we still have that contest. We talked about it last week.
Boom.
And things like that. If you leave us an iTunes review, put 5 stars, you get a signed TV guide. TV guide from that was signed by Matt Miller. Also, if you guys don't, since we didn't have that many people that signed, we only got one person who did a review. If I'm going to continue it through the Thanksgiving break, because we're off again next week, that if excuse me, if you guys answer in before next week, the TV guide might have an extra autograph on
Say
there.
what?
So again, get on iTunes, put that review out, 5 stars.
Handle it.
Come on, guys.
As much as you tweet, snap, and post, why not just go ahead and, shout out your favorite after show and leave us a review. It's real quick. It's real simple. Just do it. Don't think about it.
All right, so the thing is, before I get into the episode, I have to say that this episode was very intriguing, interesting, awesome in every way that I forgot to take most of my notes. So that's how you know that Alexis was just glued to the TV the entire time.
But I got your back.
Yes.
That's what we do here. Tango and Cash. I got your back, Tango.
So Chaos, what'd you think of this episode?
I thought it was pretty good. They gave us a little bit more in more of a look into some of the internal issues and the internal conflicts that Riggs is having, still coping with his wife's death.
Right.
And giving us that, and then we didn't have as many explosions, but it was still a really good episode.
Yeah.
There were a few new developments in there that I'm quite a fan of. So I don't want to, just get right into it yet. But we will touch on what made Chaos say, hey.
Oh my God, seriously, the entire episode was us just being like, what?
Oh, what?
What's happening? Oh
Can I get some more?
Oh
what?
yeah, no, I already know what he's talking about on this one. So this episode was called Fashion Police, and there wasn't really was there really fashion in this episode?
Not really. It was just the fact that it did have it did kind of, I guess, have a involvement of the fashion district in downtown LA.
That's where we found the body.
Right. And then that's also where we found some other stuff.
And that's where it was kind of weird because I was like, why Fashion Police? But it's fine. It's totally cool. But we open with, as you were
hold on though.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Wait. Fashion. Riggs changed the boots and the shirt.
What?
Let's talk about that. He did have on a different set of boots. Yeah, he didn't have on the same light colored boots. He had on some dark colored boots and a black shirt.
He did change his shirt up.
So he switched it up a little bit,
I don't want him to change his hair
fashion.
though. I don't want him to change his messy.
Oh no! You keep the messy look, keep the stash going. But he switched it up a little bit on us.
Good. No, I liked it. But yeah, oh gosh, the chat is blowing up right now.
Let's do it.
But anyway, so we started off with, obviously we were talking about how Riggs is missing his wife and he's having a harder and harder time as the days progress, which is normal for anybody. But I love how he wakes up thinking that, he's in the shower with his wife when actually there was
wet dream.
Yes, literally, because there was a dog who was peeing in his trailer.
Pretty much.
Which I love how he was like, how did you get in here? And I was like, yeah, how did you get in here?
Right?
How did that happen?
A little slippery thing.
Yep, and we pretty much start off with right before that our drug dealer or killer Caldera, which we didn't know his name until the very end of the episode.
I don't even think
What
they
the
said
fudge?
his name.
No, until the very end.
I just called him drug dealer guy.
Yeah, it was Agent Palmer who was like, Caldera's not talking, and I was like, oh, that's his name. I mean, maybe he did say it earlier. You and I were like psh, right over our heads, but pretty much, I love how he was like on vacation with his family, and his kid's like, I want fries, and he's like, no, that's not lunch. Oh no, he gets a text that says he needs to talk to him ASAP, and he's like, oh, the floaties are upstairs. I gotta go get it, and. He must be I mean, we know that he's a very ballsy person, but the fact that he killed somebody like point blank.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah, he was just, he killed a guy in his hotel room. Because I'm like, whose name is that under? Is that under yours?
Right? Like, or is it under an alias? Like,
I don't.
Like, are you down with the cleaning service? Where you're like, yo, I need you to clean up. I'm assuming
maybe since he's running operations, maybe he has people to be cleaners or something. I don't know, but I thought that was so ballsy of him to be like, just kill somebody.
Like he's just in the middle of looking for floaties because he legitimately was looking for floaties.
And he found them, and he walked back downstairs with them and was like,
he found those along with a silencer and pop.
Oh my god, that was crazy.
Really, it was actually more just like a pop, but still, you get the point.
But like, yeah, like, he didn't even need to double tap. Like that's why he was just like, boom and clean. I'm out. I'm gonna let you bleed out on my floor. And then the victim gets his legs broken to be stuffed into a suitcase. Oh, just the image in my head, just like no,
somebody literally taking a corpse and breaking the legs. Like, okay, I think he's gonna fit. Try and zip it up now.
It's like, you know how like when you're traveling and you're trying to figure out ways to get all of your luggage, like all of your stuff into your luggage, you have to like sit on it and like hold it together.
Unpack, repack. Because what happens is I do.
I can totally see you doing that too.
I do a mock pack where it's like, okay, let me see exactly how much I can fit. I do a mock pack, then I take that out, and then I actually do a real pack, but then it doesn't quite fit right. So then I do another unpack and then the repack. So it's the unpack, repack, unpack.
I can't do that. Like, I mean, I end up doing that because I'm like, oh, I forgot something. Oh, all my electronics are not in here yet.
Bam. That's usually
dump my stuff out and then redo that. I'm an adult. So that's like made me cringe. And you guys know my favorite phrase, nope, honey bunches of nope. That was where that was happening the entire time, just thinking about how gnarly the bottom half of him was. Right. At least he didn't like cut off his legs and then throw them into a bag, because then obviously there'd be blood leaking around and stuff like that. But like, it's weird. I don't like anything. Like, I even hate cracking my knuckles, and I do it all the time. It's terrible. But Daddy Murtaugh is on a bender?
Yeah, it was a crazy dad bender.
So pretty much,
with nobody but himself.
Wife's gone. Kids are gone except for baby, and pretty much he was like, I'm gonna eat a breakfast sandwich, not a Greek yogurt. I'm gonna have a night with the guys, gambling, drinking, burgers, like all of it. I want all of it. And sadly enough, he got called in. He got a call from the babysitter who was supposed to be, or the nanny who was supposed to be watching the baby, and she got food poisoning from some expired milk. Yeah. So
which is bold, because although I know that they say that even when you have the best by date, that's just the peak freshness.
4 days.
You still have a few days after.
Yeah, you have 4 days, according to Google.
Unless I'm really craving some cereal the best by day or the day after, I'm not rocking with that milk. I don't need to smell it, because if it says October 30th and it's November 2nd, that's it. I'm cool.
It's just like, that's
it. I'm good.
No, that's a smart thing, because I'm that type of person who was like, hey, all right. And then I always end up paying for it.
Like, it's like, it's only like 3 chunks. It's cool.
No, see, okay. If I start seeing things float, if I have floaters, no, that's it. But I totally agree, because my dad's the same way. He'll like wait. He's like, Siri told me that I can wait 4 days, so I will give it.
Well, see, I didn't even know 4, but now that I know, I might be open to that.
3 to 4 days, according to Google, says that you can do it after the expiration date.
Boom.
Supposedly, I'm not saying to do it, because people have sensitive stomachs. You can do a day.
Tango just saved y'all some money on milk. Because you got 4 days.
4 days. Don't quote me on that. I would look it up yourself just in case. But we end up. I love how like he brings his baby to work in a cool looking baby pouch thing, and ends up just handing off his baby to Bailey. And the funny thing is, we never see that baby until the very end.
No, we did not. We did not. How did that baby get home?
Did Bailey take it home? Right? Who's watching it? Is Bailey at the house watching? Does she have a key?
I never saw the handoff of a diaper bag. Babies do come with those.
No, I mean she had the normal, the satchel that he had, and then just her.
Right.
And I was like, did she have to go in the car? Did he leave it in the precinct? Like, how does that work? I'm so confused. But that was just the main thing where at one point we were like, where's the baby?
Like, did he have one?
And I was like, wasn't there a thing? You were holding your baby like a few hours ago? No, nobody cares. That's fine. It's okay. But yeah, so they see a couple who's walking by the crime scene, and they're just kind of real suspicious looking, like looking down and being like, oh my god, what's happening?
We don't really know what's going on
here? Oh my gosh, look at this.
We know nothing
about. Look at this sewer drain. Wow, yeah, exactly. So interesting. And they follow them up to, it pretty much looks like a toy factory, or like a sweatshop pretty much, and they're making bunnies, cute little stuffed bunnies, and which AKA, if you've watched any TV, that's like, that's totally drug smuggling. Everybody knows that.
Hello.
People do that.
Even now, when I go to the store, if I see a stuffed bunny, I'm kind of checking it. Like, is there a kilo here? Like,
you never know,
is there some coke in this bunny?
You never know.
In Toys R Us, you don't know. You have to check.
Check your stuff. I mean, but also you should just check anyway for like anything that's like poking out, like, you know, things like that. Because I know that there have been toys where like people have gotten hurt from because they don't check them.
True.
But they thought that there was coke powder on the middle of his fingernail, in his fingernails, but we found out that it might have been drywall because he was working on a wall. But when they go up there to confront the Wongs, I believe is it the Hongs? Wait, crap, I wrote it down. Yeah, Hongs, sorry. The Hongs, which is the couple that we were talking to who owned the building. Their son was down there, and apparently the guy that was killed was a good friend of their son, and he went running with all the bunnies in the truck. And that's where we get our first action scene, where Riggs is attached to a chain being dragged through Chinatown, or the Fashion District, and then, yeah. That was pretty much it. And then they bump into Agent Palmer, who was part of the DEA, which I was like, hey, girl, hey.
And really, she more so opened her door and bumped into Riggs to stop him from actually catching up to the perp.
Yeah, because it's her case. It's her case. Which was silly.
Kind of low-key, unassumingly hot.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
Shout out to Hillary Burton.
I think Tanya was the one that tweeted us earlier, and I was like, yeah, I want more of her. More of her, please.
Yes, exactly. Pretty much. And
one, please.
Shout out to Hillary Burton. I need more Palmer on Lethal Weapon, because I don't know. Did you see that whole Kim Lab action going on?
Oh yeah, there's
tons of Kim Lab time.
Like if you were sitting in the room, you're just like, what is that? What is that? What is that palpable taste?
I taste something.
Oh, is that chemistry? Love in the air?
It's so delicious.
Sexual tension? I don't know. But I mean, but also Riggs was getting that quite a bit this episode. We were talking about that waitress.
And cowboys. That's what she referred to them as.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's true. That argument inside the captain's office was awesome. And I love how Captain Avery was like, that's too bad. You guys are going to have to work together, figure it out. But bye. Get out of my office. I love how they were like, oh man, Captain Avery, you're awesome.
Shut it down. And another thing, I don't know. Like maybe it's just the the growing action junkie in me. But like Riggs made it look fun jumping through that wall. Like, can someone set up a place where you can just go jump through walls? Like,
I have no idea.
Like like they have places where you can go and just tear up stuff. Give me a place where I can just go jump through some walls and then find like large mounds of cash, even if it's fake cash.
Guys,
just for that hour, I will feel like I just accomplished something. 90 million.
So we get up to that point because obviously we find out from the powder underneath his fingernails was drywall. So we're like, oh, and he also had paint in his scalp. And the fact, and I love how we were using a Surface Pro.
We were. Again, shout out to to Jonathan and Microsoft.
Yeah, because
that's why I had to bust mine out.
No, it's nice. I actually want to get one myself because my iPad's just not cutting.
I've got the 3. I need that 4 in my life.
That one looks real nice.
I'm just saying, Microsoft, you hook us up with some 4s, and then this whole situation will change.
It's just gonna be change.
and then you'll just see us always taking pictures and doing cool stuff.
We'll just run around the studio
with the Surface Pro.
With the Surface Pro.
I'm just saying.
I might also solve crime. You never know. It's a Wednesday.
She can already take down the criminals as it is. So
stop.
Just saying.
But yeah, and pretty much they, like you said, $90 million, guys. What would you? That's my question. That's your homework for the week. If you found $90 million and you got to either keep a portion or all of it or whatever, what would you do with it?
I just wanted 10%. So
I know.
What would you?
I would have been
What
fine.
would you do with just 5%?
I would have been fine with $2 million. I would have been the happiest person. Even just one, even one or two, I would be the happiest person.
I will make it work. Trust.
Yeah. I was like, baby girl, right? You have a daughter or a son?
No, baby girl.
Yeah.
Little girl.
Oh my God, if your daughter was a teenager, son.
Trouble.
Yep. But yeah, no, all the toys for your little girl. That would be adorable.
Seriously.
But yeah, no, all of my college loans just gone. It would make me so happy. And this wedding would be paid off by now. I'm not crazy. Everything's fine. I'm an adult. So pretty much they had this awesome press conference of like, look at my guys who got the $90 million, but Agent Palmer was not having it. She was like, you just ruined my operation. Now the Hongs are going into hiding. Just ruined everything. And they're like, no, we're just trying to smoke them out, trying to find them.
Which leads us into that Riggs and Palmer stakeout.
Oh, yes.
Very saucy.
Yes, and we were like, oh, we might be getting something here. Sadly enough, Riggs had another nightmare of his wife. I mean, not really a nightmare because obviously he's happy in them, but it's hard to have dreams of a person that you've lost and things like that. I've been there and it's rough.
Right. And not only that, but I just want to say real quick, I feel like he was misreading his dreams. Yeah. At least in my opinion, like he kept taking her, wanting him to join her in the shower and, and come here and all that as if she was saying, come on and, be with me and, and just, kick the bucket. And I don't really feel like that's what it was.
What did you think?
Honestly, I just felt like it was just a dream where like, clearly he missed just memories. He missed his wife. They probably had some hot, steamy shower time, throughout their relationship. And it was just one of those. It had nothing to do with her actually wanting to, wanting him to join her. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, if she were able to speak from the grave, she would say like, no, go ahead, move on with your life. Holla at Agent Palmer. She's a cool one. Or Counselor Cahill.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I still low key.
I still want
I'm still
that.
holding out for that.
I still ship that.
Yeah,
I still ship that all day. But I mean, I do love Agent Palmer. Like, I'm all for it, but I definitely want that Cahill love.
That scene in the jewelry store was that was money.
Oh my God, it was great. Oh,
which comes after that stakeout.
That was so hard for me to watch. So after he woke up and he was having a rough time, and we also, speaking of Cahill, he did go to see her to talk to her about the dreams and how it gets harder every day and things like that. But he's working on it clearly.
Right, and there's progress because look, he's having open dialogue with Counselor Cahill.
Yeah, no, I just oof. But yeah, he goes in there, puts on that Southern charm as much as he can. I thought it was a little rough that he brought up a wife. I mean, it's easier to do it that way, but I was like, it's a really sensitive subject for you to be like, yeah, my wife's looking for a bag. Oh, what color is her eyes? And just immediately like,
just flashback.
I wasn't ready for that. And I love how he was like, what did he say, brown?
He said brown.
And then she's like, oh no, sweetie, you know my eyes are green. And I was like, what? I was
like, wait, who is this?
I was so confused.
Right? And then she comes up, but she played it though.
She took off her button up. She tousled that hair a little bit. She zhuzhed it and it looked real good.
Zhuzh action.
I was like, get it, girl. And she looked great.
She did. And she played it.
Oh,
she
yeah.
Played it.
And I love it that even the lady who was selling the bags was like, he looks a little shell-shocked. Is he okay? And he's like, oh, it's just because he saw the price. It's okay. But it was adorable seeing them work together, even though he was kind of caught off guard. And then Riggs goes back into Riggs fashion and jumps straight into the trunk because he had a great idea. I don't know how much time has passed in between this because at this point, they decided to do shifts and Murtaugh wanted to go last and he showed up because none of his boys showed up, which was kind of sad. I felt really bad for him.
They all had all these great plans and things that just happened to pop up.
Yeah.
The last minute.
And so
that's that.
I think he brought hoagies.
He brought hoagies for breakfast. Like, not so much, bro.
I mean, and pretty much he showed up to be like, oh, I'm just here. Just, you know, I wanted to get here a little early, check up on you guys, you know, take a break. And at this point, Riggs went back to the precinct to get Cruz to be like, let me see your your gangster face. And he's like, what? And he's like, perfect, let's go. And Cruz did a great job.
Right?
I was so proud of him, guys. I have like a tiny crush on Cruz.
Hey man, shout out to Cruz.
Like,
he had Bambi shook.
Oh, it was beautiful. I loved it.
It was money. It was believable. Like,
no, it was.
Like if I didn't already know he was, you know, part of the gang unit / detective, I'd have been like, yo, this dude is real.
He should be undercover all the time. But like, yeah, no. I mean, if anybody who's ever watched any of my after shows, I usually don't comment on the dudes. I'm always like, ladies, all the time. But like this is the one time I was like, I'm usually not in here. I was like, I'm not used to bad boys, but I'm okay with this. You're smart, you're talented. Cruz, hit me up.
Got them
just kidding. I love you. Everybody, I love you. Anyway, so, and pretty much it shook her up. She called somebody,
set up a meeting,
which was Caldera, and was like, I need to see you. Or, well, she used code, which pretty much was, I think she went to go get her dry cleaning done or something like that.
Right, and he said, you have the wrong number. Oh, okay.
And said where they were at, and she was smart. She put her phone in water and booked it. But before that, Riggs was able to break into a car trunk, which I've never heard of anybody picking a lock to get into a trunk, but I mean, I'm not Riggs. So he jumped in there, and they tried to follow him because he had a bug on him. But sadly enough, Caldera is a little smarter than that. Been around the block,
right? Like, I was really impressed. Like,
maybe he can see that there was weight on the trunk. Like, I heard some people can tell, like, if the car is supposed to sit in a certain way. I have no idea. I don't know anything about cars, and I will admit that because I'm a girl. And also I just don't care. But like, pretty much he shot twice in the trunk to scare him?
Once.
Oh, it was once? Okay.
So I'm going to shoot to the right, and then he was going to shoot again.
In the middle if he didn't get out. In the middle,
but then she popped the trunk, and then he dropped his gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, because I don't think there was anywhere really to hide at that point. You're caught.
No, because I'm pretty sure he didn't know where the release was to get into the car. Because that would have been money had he just, did the release, climbed through the back seat, out the passenger, pop, and then boom.
And also, we wouldn't get an ending.
No, yeah, that would have been the end of it. We'd be like, wait,
what
happened? There's like 20 minutes left.
So then, poor Bambi. So we get the next scene after commercial of him being hung upside down, typical torture fashion. And poor Bambi, shot right in between the eyes.
Yeah. God, there was a cold one.
Well, clearly, like we could tell the entire way through. Except, of course, he really loves his son, though.
He does.
A family man. Anyway, so pretty much he torches Riggs, and I always thought that that's always a bad idea because obviously he wants to die.
Right.
I mean, he has enough motive to stay alive because he has Murtaugh and actually the entire Murtaughs and things like that. But I love that at the same time he kind of toils back and forth. I thought that was really cool to see.
It's definitely an internal struggle.
Mm-hmm. And I love how even Caldera noticed that. He's like, oh, someone who wants to die. Okay, it's too easy now. I can't do that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Like, what about your partner? What about his family? As
soon as he brought up the Murtaughs, he immediately went into, you better shut up, stop.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, and then he did a headbutt. They struggled for a little bit. I thought he had him in that armbar. I thought it was going to work out, and it didn't because he grabbed a 2x4 and just smacked him with it. My God. And then they got into an alley pretty much, and at that point he was just, I'm done. You got me. There's no way for anyone to track me. I'm here. Shoot me. And it was intense. He was like screaming at him saying, shoot me. And,
shoot me.
And instead he got run over.
Yeah, pretty much. He got hit by a car.
So at this point, Murtaugh and Palmer are searching everywhere to find them. Murtaugh, in the dark, mind you, was like, I think I saw something.
Which was the flash from the bullet.
Yes. And because he did shoot down at the ground first to scare him. And I was like, this is a dumb idea. I don't even know. If he was ready to die from you waterboarding him, you think that this is going to... Stop.
Yeah.
And
cut it.
Yeah, seriously. And then pretty much, they just ran him over. He survived. I don't know if he got any injuries from that. I'm assuming because he broke a windshield.
I'm pretty sure at least the day after for us, every episode, he wakes up and he's got like, a lot of aches and pains.
Oh, good. Someone else. Who else has a major crush on Cruz? Adrian. Adrian. Thank you. I don't feel crazy. And yeah, I'm pretty much. I love how like Riggs was like smacking the headlights and like back up. You're too you're too close. And he's like, you let her run me over. And it was just really funny. It was a really cool part where Palmer was just like, I don't give a crap. Whatever, we caught him, you're alive, let's move on from this.
He's like, well, I mean, you were in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I love and that was the other thing we forgot to talk about, actually. It was something really little, but I love how they knew, because we were speaking of Jonathan earlier about Scorsese and how he knew about sand, how he found that 1 grain of sand in our victim's, I think it was hand or body or foot or something, and he had a sand guy.
Right.
Sorry, I just wanted to talk about that because I thought it was hysterical.
I've got a sand guy. Hey, and then I love the line, I mean, you know, why use science when you have guessing?
Yes, because he was like, oh, it must be Coke, that's what I'm guessing. And he's like, oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, why use science when you have guessing?
And it was just, the sass level was just so good.
Right.
But I also love that he was trying to take a selfie with his Surface Pro, but he was like, I probably shouldn't do that with dead
he's
feet.
doing stuff with that Surface that I have not even done yet. And I'm just like, okay, I definitely got to step my game up if I want to get
Surface
on that
Pro,
that Pro 4 level.
If you just bring that Pro 4 over and you can teach us how to use it.
Talk to us.
Yeah.
Let's work something out here.
Please.
But then I also kind of want to know what I would like to get a snapshot of Scorsese's dating profile.
Yes,
clearly
I hope they show that
he
or
is
do a
on
video.
the hunt for a little love.
Oh my God. No, I think that what they should do, since the Lethal Weapon YouTube channel is very active, you guys can just do like one of those silly like dating profile videos that you used to do back in the 90s and the 70s and 80s and stuff like that. The 80s, I'm sorry. The 80s and the 90s. I want to see one of Scorsese just being like, hey ladies. And just going into it. Jonathan, I want one. I'm not saying
Make it happen, bro.
I'm not saying I need it, but I would like it.
Make it happen.
But we end it with obviously Caldera being in prison, but being arrested. And my favorite part of the entire episode was the talk between Riggs and Cahill. As a person who's lost someone that I loved very, very dearly a long time ago, this whole speech that she did spoke to me so hard, like I wanted to cry, but I kept it together because I was like, Cassius needs to see this. Anyway, so like he pretty much talks about how time should heal all wounds. And she was like, that's weird, why would it? And he said, because everybody says it does, and that's extremely true.
It's very cliche, but it's very true. Everyone says that. Matter of fact, I want to say I just said it a couple days ago.
It does. There's nothing wrong with it, but I like what she said. She goes, people say that don't understand. Time is cruel and it punishes. I mean, we sentence people to time. I don't know if it makes it any easier. I don't know if it makes it any easier, period. And of course, that was my first reaction is, then what am I doing here talking to you about it? And she, again, next line, writers are so good. You're looking for a way to make it hurt a little less. And in my experience, the only thing that helps is other people. Try connecting with the living.
Pretty much.
And it's true. And again, it does take time for you to do that, but at least you're not doing it by yourself. That's the worst thing.
And that's the thing I said is that, you know, in conjunction with time healing all wounds, my takeaway was get out. Get outside of the house. Don't sit in the house and mope. You know, connect with your friends, probably the ones you kind of blew off because you was cupcaked up.
Yeah, which is normal.
You know, or whatever the situation was. Connect with your friends. Get out. Do stuff. Put yourself in situations where you might meet people. I mean, you know, you got to step outside of your comfort zone to get over that pain.
Yeah. And the same thing is when, and it doesn't have to be when someone dies. It could be, you know, a breakup. It could be, you know, you losing your best friend as a meaning like they just up and left you or something like that. Like, it doesn't matter. Or you lost your job. Like, you can't sit there. I mean, again, I'm like the poster child of staying at home and just shutting the world out. But I know for a fact that with my friends and my family and other people that are in my life, I wouldn't be the person I am now without them. You know, especially through extreme loss or something that changed your life and you weren't ready for. And I thought the writers did a really good job portraying that because I've never heard that before, and it was just really nice to hear. And I was just, oh my God. But speaking of connecting with friends, we had a little bit of insight because Palmer did find out that he lost his wife, and that's why she was like, oh, he seemed a little weird at that point in time, and now she knows why. And I love that Murtaugh didn't really like have to give detail. He just said she was, and then
boom, figured it out.
Fully understood.
You don't know why? Because Palmer's quick on the draw.
No, I love that.
That is one
That's why I
smart
like.
cookie.
Yeah, and I also was like, Murtaugh, you really got to stop saying stupid crap,
Right.
and that you have to apologize for
exactly
every episode. I'm like,
every episode.
Even in the
I
movies,
kind of feel like maybe this is new. Is you know,
new
he's
for him.
learning.
Yeah, it's new for
Right,
him. Like, it's
so-
hard to deal with someone who lost the love of their life and their unborn child. That's a lot to handle.
It's a lot.
So it was recent too. So like it makes
Still fresh.
Oh yeah, that wound is definitely not scabbed over. And he keeps picking at it too. That doesn't help. But yeah, I just was like, Murtaugh, we got to get over this. We got to get over this hump, buddy. I can't do it anymore. But we also find out that Palmer is single.
And ready to mingle.
Her and her husband were divorced, I'm assuming, or broken up or whatever, and that she's had to get through that on her own, and now she's, she loves her job just as much as Riggs does. No, nothing. Bueller, come on, gotta get in there. And she even was strong enough to sit there and ask him out to dinner.
She did.
A non-stakeout dinner, mind you.
Bam.
And he was like, I'm not. And I love how she like immediately was like, I might have been too rash. It's okay. It's fine. But like, I love how he was kind of considering it for a second.
Right.
But I was like,
Not only that, and then she kind of took him and she showed him a little bit of her world in terms of like, what she does.
Yeah. She catches bad guys. And they did show that, because we didn't, Caldera was asking like how many, and we didn't understand what it was, and we pretty much found out it was because of the operations, and we saw how many there were. There was quite
the
bit.
DEA is on their game.
Yeah, so maybe Palmer might come back, because they might bump into another one of these cases.
I'm gonna need Palmer to come back
for all this stuff, or maybe he might just come visit and try to help out as much as he can, and then that's where they spend time. I have no idea. But I also like that, speaking of relationships, Cruz and Scorsese were in the morgue together, because right now they're technically in not competition with each other. It's just that they don't know it yet.
right
For Bailey.
for Bailey's attention and affection.
I need it.
Yeah.
I need that triangle so bad.
Amen.
But yeah, so then Riggs showed up at Murtaugh's place at the very last few hours of his Bender
warm down.
Yes. Oh yes.
Was it a warm down or cool down?
No, you're right. It was a warm down.
Warm down.
And
That's
I was
what
like,
he
that's
said.
a weird thing to say, but all right.
Right.
So instead of a warm up, it's a warm down.
For what?
I was like, sure,
Okay.
that sounds great. So he was sitting there folding baby socks, which I thought was adorable. And he had the rest of the food. They had beer. He brought Wolfie, the dog that was peeing in his trailer.
And still isn't trained, so
Oh yeah, no, still peeing everywhere, not listening to anybody, which is fine. He's a stray dog. That's normal. I have a dog who's been in a shelter for 5 years. You get there. But yeah, I liked that they were both asleep on the couch.
Right.
I love how Murtaugh was like, I really hope that's you relieving yourself on my rug.
Exactly.
And he's like, whatever helps you sleep at night. And that was it.
That's it. And scene.
Yeah, and that was Lethal Weapon, pretty much.
Boom.
We did it.
It was good.
But guys, we have to go on another break. We're gonna be off for 2 weeks because we have Turkey Day next week, and so
Turkey smirky.
I mean, hey man, people gotta eat. That's what they want to do, and be thankful for what they have.
They gotta eat and watch football.
Yes, those are usually the only things that we do besides just
And
having a food coma for
right, exactly.
for 2 days,
Pretty much.
and waking up at 4 a.m. to do shopping. So yeah, but yeah, so we're gonna be off for 2 weeks, but it's okay because that gives you guys time to do a contest, and I'm gonna talk about iTunes.
And then also, gives you time to catch up.
Yes.
If you were, if you kind of fell a little bit behind on your Lethal Weapon, get your binge on, bro. You got 2 weeks. Catch up, and then you know where to find us.
Yes, sorry, I was answering some people in the chat. But yeah, no, it gives you time to catch up, and we want to make sure that you guys are just, hanging out with us and things like that. And again, that's where the iTunes comes in. Again, if you leave a review with 5 stars talking about what your favorite part, of our show is, like tell us what, if we're doing a good job or a bad job, whatever, we like criticism, we like to know. And then also what your favorite part of the show is so far. So again, if you're not caught up, you have time, you have a whole 2 weeks. So, and again, if you win, if we get to pick you out of the bunch, you get a signed TV guide that has the Lethal Weapon cover on it, signed by Matt Miller, the creator and the director. But again, if you guys do this over the break, there will be an extra signature, because on the 30th, which is when we come back, I believe so, we have Dante Brown?
Dante Brown, aka Dante the Poet. I checked you out on SoundCloud. fire.
Yeah, no,
He's got a mixtape coming. Y'all need to be on the lookout for that.
Who plays Murtaugh? The youngest Murtaugh is what I'm assuming, because I'm not quite sure if the daughter is older than
Yeah, I
the
think
son.
she's older.
Okay, I'm assuming so, just from the way that they're portrayed. I have no idea. But he plays the youngest one, the son, and that... yeah, he's going to be in studio on the 30th. We've already tweeted it out. I apologize because I got overexcited and thought he was going to be here this week. That was incorrect, and I am sorry. All this wedding planning is making my brain turn into mush, so I apologize.
She's got wedding brain.
Oh yeah, it's so bad. But again, join us in 2 weeks on the 30th. We will be here talking about Lethal Weapon. But overall thoughts of the entire episode before we go on break.
It was a great episode. I like that, you know, they still gave us a little bit of action, but they toned it down a little bit and gave us a lot of heart. They gave us a lot of, you know, insight into, like I said earlier, into Riggs. They threw in a little extra little love interest, possibly a love prospect, maybe, with Palmer. I mean, it was still good. I mean, we still had a pretty, you know, pretty cold-blooded bad guy. I mean, it was good. All in all, I mean, this show was great. And the writing is, I mean, they don't let us down.
No, man, Lethal Weapon, the show, a lot of people had a lot of doubts about this show, except for you and I. We were like, the show's going to rock. Right. And it does every freaking week.
Every week. They're doing it again and again and again. And guess what? We're going to be here again and again and again.
Yeah,
Tango and Cash all up in your area.
Especially because we have a full season. So, and we all know it's going to get renewed for a second season. Like, we don't even want to talk about that. But you know who else who rocks besides the show? You guys. So
Boom.
Again, thank you so much for joining us here on Lethal Weapon. There's not many predictions since we have 2 weeks, so we have time to think about it.
Thank you for all the retweets.
Yes.
Thank you for all the comments, the messages. We love it. Keep it coming. And hit us up on iTunes.
Yeah, man. We will mail that sucker right to you. That's all we're asking. Don't forget to also put your Twitter on that review so that we can find you. The person who did put it on there, let's see where it is. Elisa Robinson. I hope I said that right. She did it correctly. There's a whole thing, and it's too long to read right now because I want to wait for the contest to end. But she did it right. If you need an example, just look at hers. It's on there. But again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. So since again we're gonna be gone for 2 weeks, where can the fans find you to talk to you about Turkey Day and stuff?
They can find me on Twitter at KaosJ, KAOSJ, and hey, you can hit me up on Instagram. Chaos_Oceans31. I'm bringing you 31 flavors of waviness right now.
Always.
So get some.
Always. And again, I'm Alexis Torres. You can find me and most of my wedding brain at atorres890. That's on all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that awesome stuff. It is there. And talk to me, because we love talking about this show. We love talking about anything. Again, you can talk to Chaos about football. You can talk to me about food. Anything. Just bring it up. We love talking to you guys because we think you're amazing, and you guys are the ones that keep the lights on.
And we appreciate you. Yes, you do. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you.
Exactly. So, guys, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.